Welcome to Team Perry's Step Out of Line podcast, featuring co-hosts Perry and Lori Finkelstein. Together, they explore, meet, and share inspirational stories with guests who have made a positive impact in today's world. This podcast resonates with our hope to make this world a better place one step at a time through love, acceptance, and uplifting conversations.
I've always was an entertainer, and I was working in Orlando, Florida at the time, and I was a DJ and MC, and I was doing all these things with my life. One day, I was doing a commercial for Harry Potter and the theme park ride at Universal Studios, and one of the producers came to me, because I was, backstage being myself, and one of the producers came to me and said, "Hey, you should go out and try to be the warm-up guy for Family Feud. They're having auditions tomorrow." I had no idea what a warm-up guy was, to the point where I had to Google warm-up guy. And so I Googled it. I figured out it was kind of like a pre-host. And I went in completely out of my element. This is not, I mean, at the time, I didn't know what this was. And I went into that audition. Backstory, they usually don't audition for this role. But because they had moved Family Feud to Florida, they were looking for talent. They let me audition. I did not get it. I was not the guy who got it. I was actually the runner-up. But come down to showtime, the guy who originally picked couldn't do the first week. I went in and knocked the doors off that bad boy. And I've been a warm-up guy ever since. Many years later, after been doing Family Feud for a while, I've been a Universal Studios about 20 years, but Steve Harvey, who I was working for at the time, moved all of his shows to Chicago, a city that I have never been to, and actually, to be honest with you, I had heard nothing but bad things about. And so I left my wife at the time, and my 1.5-year-old son stayed in Orlando while I went to go live in Chicago for a year by myself, just to make sure that this worked. It all worked out, and here we are many moves later. And met you guys while I'm doing Kelly Clarkson, and that's pretty much my story. Just everything about my life right now, especially my career-wise, has come because I stepped out of my comfort zone. This is none of the thing about what I do is comfort. I have to walk out in front of a room full of people who don't know who I am, and I have to endear myself to them within the first few minutes so that they will be cool with me for the next 2 or 3 hours as we sit in the studio. My entire life, my entire career has been, quite honestly, stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm glad I went to Chicago. It was quite honestly the best thing that ever happened to me, because coming from Orlando to like a big city that is Chicago, I had never experienced crowds like that. And so if I had never gone to Chicago to perform, I would have never gained that muscle. I would have never been able to come out to LA to do it. There's just no way, because I wouldn't have had the training wheels. Everything you see behind me is mine. I am a big old nerd. I do not ever plan on growing up. I make a living having fun. And so I reflect it in all aspects of my life. Everything I wear, everything I buy, everything I do is I want, a long time ago, I stopped caring what people think about me. And so I just do whatever makes me feel good. And toys and fun clothing and being loud and crazy. It's what I love to do in my life. Yeah, me and my wife were both performers at Universal Studios. We were backstage. It was her first day of work, and she had come in, and I was messing around with my friends, and I said, "I'm gonna marry that girl." And they were lying, and it was a big joke, you know what I mean? But many years later, we did start dating. It was one of those off and on situations. And yeah, she is a big part of my success. Me and my wife are dating, and she was like, "You're very funny." I said, "Oh, thank you, baby." She goes, "But you're a jerk." What do you mean I'm a jerk? She goes, "You're very, very funny, but you're so much of a jerk that nobody can see past the jerk part to get to the funny part." And I didn't know what she was talking about. And it took me a few days to kind of come to grips with what she was saying. It was a life-changing moment for me, because I didn't realize that I was coming off a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? I thought I was just being me, but being me was super sarcastic and super critical. And I didn't realize that's who I was. But if I had never met her, if I had never dated her, I don't know if anybody would have ever been brave enough to just come out bluntly say, "Hey, listen, this is why you're not getting any success in your life. It's because of your attitude." And thanks to her, here we are.
I can't imagine how difficult it must be. You seem like a person you're a people person, face to face people person. You love people. You can read the room. You walk into the room and you can read that room. You know who's going to be, somebody who's going to be good in the audience and somebody who's going to be like, oh my God, get this person away from me. How did you manage to do that during the pandemic when you just had little iPad screens that you were looking at?
I'll be 100% honest with you. It was tough. Like, even walking into the situation, knowing that, again, you guys have been online and you guys have been to a live show now.
Right.
You guys see the difference, right? Because there's one where y'all, when you're online, you don't see the other people around you. You don't necessarily have the connection to the stage or the artist or the performer that's on stage. You're not getting that kind of feedback. You're at your house, so you're nice and chilling, and you got your snacks over here, your couch over there. So it's not the same experience. And for me as a performer, as a warm up guy, it was daunting. I'll be real. Like the week leading up to it, I was just trying to rack my brain with, okay, can I still do this? Can I still do that? Will they respond to this? Will they respond to this? Thankfully, everybody who was willing to come on the live streams were pretty cool. Everybody who logged in wanted to be there. So it ended up being a much more positive situation than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, no, it was a little tough. I mean, no bones about it. It was probably one of the tougher things I've done as a warm-up guy, literally trying to figure out, hey, there are 40 people on Zoom screens that I have to entertain. You know what I mean? Because you're not getting the same thing. You guys watch the show. They cut the feed off the commercial break, so you don't get that connection with Kelly. So it wasn't the same thing. And thankfully, everybody who came ended up being cool. Thankfully, everybody understood, hey, it's COVID, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and we're just trying to give somebody a little bit of an escape. And everybody bought into it. We had a little fun.
What I also noticed about the audience, because I was sitting right next to her, is what people will do for a $5 Amazon gift card. It's $5. And people do anything.
It's such a weird phenomenon. If I said, hey, I will give you $5 to do this, you would say no. But if I say, hey, I will give you a $5 gift card, people lose their mind. Right. I don't know why, but I'm grateful for it. You know what I mean? It was kind of born out of the fact that I usually, when I was before in this life, I turned this world pieing and sliming kids for Nickelodeon, and so there was always little trinkets and prizes and stuff to give out there. With this show, there's not a whole lot of swag. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of t-shirts or mugs or anything. I can't really throw a mug at a person. So literally, I just started going to Starbucks. I get hundreds of dollars worth of gift cards. They're in a drawer in my room over here. And that's what I do. But you're absolutely right. People will lose their day buying for a gift card at Starbucks. I don't know. Personally, though, one of the things that made me so happy was looking up and seeing Perry up there. Like I remember you had hit me up on Instagram and said, hey, I might be at the show. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll see her. And then in the middle of warm up, I was like, da da da. And then I saw the whole thing go up there. Then I instantly knew you're like a celebrity around the show.
You meet a lot of celebrities, obviously, because you're in the room and you see them come out. Does your jaw still drop for anybody?
I don't get starstruck very often. I am lucky enough that I'm in a job where I get to meet a lot of fun celebrities. I actually don't even talk about it to other people a lot about it because they think that I'm bragging, and I'm not bragging. It's just literally what my career is right now. Yeah. I'm a big nerd, okay? As you can see, I'm a big nerd. So pretty much anytime I see somebody from maybe like Marvel or I'm a little older, some of the 90s stars from old movies that I used to watch back in the day, those I'll be like, all right, it's kind of cool. Like I got to meet David Hasselhoff last season when he was at the show. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. But for the most part, because I'll be honest, it's not even from an arrogant point of view. It's from, I want these people to view me as their coworker and not a fan. Fans kind of swarming them, right? But if I'm on stage with you, I have to act like I belong there. The moment you start fanning out, you don't belong there anymore, So I do my best that even if I am geeked out over celebrity, I wrap it up real tight. That way, nobody feels weird about it. A lot of folks treat what I do as a living as a stepping stone to something differently. I don't. I look at what I do as a career. I literally make good money, and living my dream. And I get to go to work every day and have a whole lot of fun and party. And with that fun and partying, I get to provide for my family. To perform at this level for the rest of my career, I would be as happy as I can be. Pie in the sky. If someone were to throw a game show at me, I would not say no. I would absolutely do that. I got the opportunity right before COVID hit. I got the opportunity to tour the country as the host of Family Feud. They did a live showing of it, and it took me back to my old Nickelodeon roots and getting able to perform as a host in front of people. Instead of being the guy before the guy, I was the guy for a little bit. But that being said, like back to what I originally said, I 10 years from now, I probably be finishing up my career at that point. Hopefully, I'll have some investment stuff so I can send my sons off to a great college. And yeah, I'll probably still be in the industry in some way, form, or fashion, whether it be from a producing standpoint or a casting standpoint or even a writing standpoint. But for the most part, I think I'll be doing this or really try to help other people do this.
Did you ever imagine as a kid that this is what you'd be doing and how much joy it would bring you?
Absolutely not. Everything that I've gotten has been just uh, a weird dream that I did not know I had. When I was going to school, I wanted to be in the medical field. I did pretty okay in school, but then I was always a performer. I've been working as an actor or performer since I was 12. I was doing Nickelodeon shows when I was 12. And um, and so even I in my brain, even when I started to really start hustling, I was in Orlando and I was doing a lot of shows. My plan was to run a DJ company out of Orlando and then have an entertainment DJ company. And they say if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. That plan went out the window 11 years ago, right in that audition, because I didn't know this was even a possibility of my life. You know what I mean? And now that I'm here, I'm so grateful for it. That's why I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm grateful. Because no matter what physical ailments I have, no matter what trauma I've had, no matter what problems anybody in my family has, I get to wake up every day, and that's it. I get to wake up every day, and then when I get to wake up every day, I get to go have fun. I, I can't I can't be mad at that. My two main gigs, I get to work with world class Kelly Clarkson. My other main gig, I get to work with world class Steve Harvey. Both of those people come to their jobs and they enjoy what they do. Okay. And they both are in the mindset that I am is y'all didn't come here to see my problems, right? Even if the moment before you guys got on stage, I got all four flat tires, you don't care about that. You came to have a good time. Everybody has a gift in this life, and my gift is that I have the ability, no matter the setting, to let people around me have a good time. And I have just somehow, some way, made a career out of that, you know? And so thank you for the compliment, but I really do. I love what I get to do, and I love to hear that because that's all I want to do. All I want to do. Then y'all didn't come to see me. I am the DVD extra, right? Y'all came to come see the star, right? But if I can in those first couple of minutes get folks to the point where they're like, oh, we're here to have a good time. It's not going to be some stuffy thing. This is not going to be a board meeting. This is going to be fun. Then I've done my job correctly. That's all I want to do is make people have a good time. That's it.
How do you keep up your energy?
5-hour energy shots and B12. But that's kind of just to get me going. That's how I get going during the day. But I've always been kind of naturally energetic, much to my parents' chagrin when I was younger, because I was the hyperactive kid that the teachers called the parents. Oh, especially my father is, my whole family is military. And so he went to military schools. And so when you have these very straight-laced military schools, and I am the class clown, and it did not work out very well growing up. I was smart. I was doing my work, but that was the time I was getting done so fast. And then here comes the show. And then I have two sons, and my oldest son is very quiet, like my wife is. My youngest son is every cup of coffee I've ever had.